everybody, this is Heather with By Heather Felke Creations. Today what I'm going to be showing you is things that I keep from a trip as souvenir type mementos that I can put into my scrapbook albums. I just recently took a trip to the big island of Hawaii, so I haven't really had many videos posted recently because I was out of town and I'm still trying to get back in the routine of things. So what I typically keep is any kind of little papers that I can get my hands on. So this is a notice of baggage inspection, and it's signed here by the individual who did my baggage search. And when you're coming back from Hawaii, they're looking for fruits and vegetables and agricultural type stuff, or anything that is prohibited from taking from the island back to the mainland. So this is one of the things that may or may not wind up in my album. It just kind of depends on if I have some empty space that I need to fill, then I have something that came from my trip that I can put in that space. Another thing is I flew on Hawaiian Airlines and they served you a hot meal on the trip. So this was the top of my box, and it actually opened up to reveal a little dessert on the trip. So what I did was I actually just kind of tore it out, and it talks about celebrating 80 years of service for the airline. So it's a nice little memento from the airline that came on my food packaging, and it's nice thick card, almost a chipboard. So it's a nice little thing to also put in my album. I also purchased some different postcards. I have some vintage looking postcards, and I have some colorful postcards, and I like using postcards as, again, either filler on my page or just to even sometimes use it as a title on my page, or to also remind me of where something might be. So I also kept my receipt and my boarding passes for my flight, so those are always nice to have. The airline provided us with a free map, so I put the dates of my travel, and what I did was inside my map, let's see if I can fold it out so you guys can see it here. I went through and I highlighted some of the places we went to on the island, and when we did the tour of the island, we did it in 2 days. So I put the dates that we toured the island and where we ended each of our days, so I knew where we ended and where we picked back up again the second day. So I have that little bit right here. So also on here it has points of interest, and I went through and highlighted and put the dates of when we saw those points of interest. It's going to really help me when I go to journal, so I can remember when it happened and whatnot. So again, some postcards, and like I was saying, this I might use for Kailua Kona, where we actually stayed, as my title, and it gives an aerial view to remind me of what it looked like. So I also like to pick up brochures. I do it for 2 reasons. One is so when I'm planning my trip, I can kind of see what I want to do, what I haven't done yet, and so the other is, so then if I do go to that place, like right here, this is for Ocean Rider Seahorse Farm, which we actually went to. It was really neat. There's some nice clear pictures of some of the seahorses and sea dragons, and a little information about it, where it's located, and again, it's going to help guide me with my journaling. It's something I can also put in as a filler on my page. The other reason why I pick up brochures is because if I didn't get to see something that looked neat or do something that I wanted to do, I have something that I can put away for later. So should I ever travel to that place again, I know, hey, I really wanted to go to this place and I didn't get to. So then it becomes top of my priority, and I don't have to think back, you know, years later or months later of, oh my goodness, where was that place that I really wanted to go? So I have it. Another thing that I like to keep is any maps. We went to the Hawaii Tropical Botanical Gardens, which is near Hilo, and this is a map of the garden, so I can remember what the trails were like. I can also see where things were located, or even what things were called if I can't remember that. So that's another neat little memento to pick up. If you go to national parks, they have some really nice colorful brochures that are maps and brochures, so those are neat things to get as well. I pick up menus of different places that I may have eaten while I was there. If I really liked the place, even if I didn't, if it was something that I really did not like, I may pick it up, the menu, and write a note on there so I remember that next time I go to that place I don't want to eat there because it wasn't very good. Then right here I have my ticket and my program from the luau that we attended, so those are nice little mementos to put in your scrapbooks as well. Some more postcards. This is from a church that we went to while we were there. Again, another postcard. And everything is, I kind of keep in order of what we did, so I can also help remind me later on. I may also keep receipts. I don't always put them in my scrapbook, but it reminds me on how much something cost, or if it's something I could write off for business expenses, then I have the receipt, and I just kind of slip it in with my brochures. Now lastly, what I want to show you real quick is this is sand that actually picked up in my shoe. One day I went snorkeling for the very first time, and so this is, it looks like black and white, but it's actually, when you see the beach is gray. And I put it in this little Ziploc baggie. Fortunately I had one, and I just dumped it out of my shoe when I got back to the place we were staying, and that's my little keepsake of what the sand looked like. We also went to a beach called Black Sands Beach. It's prohibited from taking any of the sand from the beach, but again, I emptied out my shoe, and this was what little bit was left in my shoe. It was either going to go in the trash or it was going to wind up in the bottom of my suitcase anyway, so I just put this little tiny bit in this little Ziploc baggie so I can remember what that black sand looked like, because that is prohibited from actually taking from the beach. We found this little I guess it was like a little hut that had a store in it on the Black Sands Beach, and they pre-packaged a lot of this for you, so it was really neat. So this is some lava rock, some green sand from the green sand beach that we did not make it to, but at least I could see what it looked like. Again, here's some black sand that they had pre-packaged for us, and then this is what the white sand looked like. So it's kind of neat to see the difference all together, and then on the back they've indicated what each was. So I hope that gives you some ideas on what to pick up when traveling, what to put in your books, what you could use, or how these different brochures that you could pick up at destinations, how you can use them in the future. Well, thanks again for joining me, and I hope to crank out some more videos here for you. Alright, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks!